Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, we've got news out of Raleigh where the North Carolina National Guard has been mobilized to help with the incoming storm. A press release says around 436 personnel have been activated as of earlier this morning, along with 170 vehicles. Some of those include teams with high-mobility multi-purpose wheel vehicles that can traverse dangerous conditions, distribution teams who can give out equipment and supplies quickly, and maintenance and recovery teams who can help NCDOT, according to the news release. Now, the NC National Guard says it's working with North Carolina Emergency Management to keep an eye on the changing conditions and provide resources to the most impacted areas. On Wednesday, Governor Josh Stein declared a state of emergency for all of North Carolina ahead of the winter storm that's going to be hitting our state coming up tomorrow. Of course, it's not just the National Guard, but also Camp Lejeune is urging its community members and residents to make sure you prepare ahead of the winter storm. With freezing rain and ice again still forecasted from Saturday into Sunday, drivers are advised to be careful at the gates, on bridges, and overpasses. Officials tell the public to ensure enough food, essential supplies, and medicine before conditions begin to turn. Operation hours may change for non-essential facilities and services at the base. Customers should call ahead to confirm availability before hitting the roads. Now, the Naval Medical Center is set to operate normally over the weekend, open for emergencies and trauma care. The New River and Camp Lejeune bases plan to operate normally on Monday, but an update will be provided Sunday afternoon before a final decision is made. More information will be posted on the official websites for Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, along with New River, Lejeune New River, and the Naval Medical Center in Camp Lejeune. You can follow links to those sites on our website, WITN.com. And now for, of course, the forecast. We again are looking at a storm system that is currently transformed over the past few weeks. So maybe transformed isn't the right word, but it is certainly adjusted. We have seen position changes that have really transformed our expected impacts as we approach this upcoming weekend. Still looking again at rough conditions coming in Saturday evening all the way through at least the early hours of your Sunday morning. Now, as we head through Sunday, warmer air temperatures and rain showers coming down should help melt away quite a bit of whatever is left on the roads as we head into your Sunday afternoon to Sunday evening. Of course, air temperatures in the mid to upper 30s tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, excuse me, mid to upper 30s on Sunday will help us avoid any further headaches from Sunday into Monday, giving those crews, whether it's the National Guard or the DOT, time to again clear the roads and make everything more passable and more serviceable for all community members. Right now, we do have some light raindrops working their way across eastern North Carolina. Models again have suggested that maybe some of these rain showers may linger along the coast into tomorrow morning. If that's the case, then the coast does have an opportunity of actually seeing maybe a few snowflakes out there. But for right now, the main area of concern is still sitting further back towards New Mexico. You can see it looks very messy right now, but over really the next 12 hours, you are going to see that whole low pressure system gather up what it needs to become, again, a full-fledged winter storm that's going to be impacting areas from New Mexico and Colorado all the way across most of the East Coast, essentially from South Carolina northward, going to be seeing winter weather out of this system. Now, of course, earlier in the week, it looked like we would be seeing some snow coming down in potentially even heavy amounts. No longer the case. Air temperatures right now out your door, upper 40s to low 50s with a northerly breeze that has been less than impressive. Right now, looking about a 3-mile-per-hour breeze for those of you registering any sort of wind. We do have a 9-mile-per-hour reading in Jacksonville, 6-mile-per-hour breeze in Beaufort, 7 in Hatteras. So again, certainly not a whole lot there, but that is good news. The last thing you want when we're talking about a winter storm is the addition of windy conditions on top of ice. Again, ice weighs down tree branches, and You get winds in there as well, and you can easily, again, create more power outages by moving those trees and getting those branches to kind of shake and wiggle around and crack easier to fall on potential power lines. So again, seeing a lighter breeze anticipated, not just, of course, what we're seeing right now, but extending through the weekend is an encouraging fact. That should, again, help us keep the power on across most of eastern North Carolina. But let's take a localized look at exactly what models are indicating for tonight and into tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, starting out, again, possibly some lingering showers along the coast. This is likely going to be the coast's best opportunity for seeing snowflakes. I'm not guaranteeing that those raindrops will be right over the Crystal Coast and maybe even extending a little bit further inland tomorrow morning, but it will be a possibility, something again to watch out for. But as we head towards lunchtime, everything again going to be turning dry. We may actually see some sunshine as we head through lunchtime coming up for tomorrow. But it's tomorrow late afternoon to tomorrow evening is when we're anticipating some snowflakes starting to show up. Now, unfortunately for you snow lovers out there, the snowflakes are not going to last for long. They'll start coming down and it is going to look pretty darn cool. But unfortunately, that rain snow line for, again, you snow lovers out there is going to shift its way further northward. So watch what happens as we fast forward to around 9:15. That line of snow from just kind of that white and light blue, indicating, again, lighter snowflakes. That line continues to inch its way further northward. By 9:15, areas around Wayne, Wilson, southern Edgecombe, Greene, Lenoir, Craven, Pitt, Beaufort, portions of certainly possibly Hyde County, but certainly Pamlico County, going to be seeing more of a sleet and freezing rain switch over from just snowflakes. I do want to say hello to Dustin Vanderwood and Shelba Moore. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. But watch as that snow continues to work its way further and further northward as we head into Sunday morning. We again are looking at air temperatures by this point of the day on Sunday in the most likely mid, more so upper 20s. We'll say generally between around 26 to around 30 degrees. Where many inland areas will find themselves temperature-wise early on Sunday. And if that's the case, then that brings in any sort of moisture and it allows it to freeze on contact. So by this point, Sunday, 9:15, it's still going to be messy out there. It is still going to be a headache. But those air temperatures will continue to climb. I think between 10 and 11 a.m., we will see those air temperatures reach into that 32-degree range, reach freezing. And then from there, they continue to get warmer, which will push more and more of the freezing rain and sleet out of eastern North Carolina, pushing it further back towards the west because that area of low pressure will be bringing in more heat than what we need in order to support snowfall or even support sleet or even support freezing rain. So again, going to answer just a couple questions from Iris. How is it looking Sunday morning in Plymouth? Well, Sunday morning, again, it's going to be a mess out there. I don't think we'll start to see weather-driven improvements until we get to around lunchtime on Sunday. It's going to take us, again, getting above 32 degrees, which will happen on Sunday. It's going to happen, but that, again, is really going to mark the start of a lot of the melt that we will see carry on through Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, even into Sunday night, because Sunday night air temperatures are expected to be down at around 32, 33, maybe 34 degrees. So here's kind of a look at exactly what we've got heading our way. There by Saturday morning, you can see that area of low pressure just off to the west of Dallas showing quite a bit more organization. But another area of low pressure is forming kind of, again, near the Gulf of California. That will be the second system. The European model has done a pretty good job of highlighting the potential of two low pressure systems out of this whole mess. And here we are. That's exactly what is beginning to show up throughout the southeastern United States weather model runs. At this point, again, Sunday, that low pressure system staying just off to our north means that we will be in the warm sector of that frontal system. We've got a lot of rain further back towards the west that will be moving through eastern North Carolina coming up on Sunday. And that, again, is going to bring in more heat than what we would need if we wanted again to create more winter weather conditions. Now, obviously, no one is rooting for ice. Ice is the odd man out. Nobody wants to hang out in a completely iced over eastern North Carolina. So the fact that we are seeing that low move far enough north to where it is starting to limit the amount of ice accumulations we see is certainly good news. But I know a lot of people got into this week thinking that, okay, well, here we go. Let's talk about some snow. Let's have a little snow party this weekend. And while again, Saturday night into Sunday, we will certainly see some snowflakes come down across eastern North Carolina. We are not looking at any sort of major accumulations, possibly up to an inch, maybe 2 inches for those of you closer to the Virginia line. But it's going to be a snow and sleet combination. So for those of you hoping to do some sledding, even then it's not going to be what you really are hoping for. Now, coming up next weekend, it does look like we may end up talking about another potential for some snow. Air temperatures are really going to be dropping from Saturday into Sunday of next week. But of course, we also have some cold temperatures we will have to deal with coming in Monday night into Tuesday, down at about 17 degrees. Really cold start coming up on Tuesday. Monday, of course, melting will continue. We will see some melt on Sunday. The ice early on, the freezing rain, will shift over to just rain in the afternoon. And with those overnight lows Sunday night into Monday holding at 33 degrees, it's going to be pretty much next to impossible to get that rain that's falling to freeze onto roads or even just elevated surfaces overnight Sunday night into Monday morning. Unless, of course, you are watching closer to Virginia or closer to I-95, which in that instance, your air temperatures, your overnight lows will be a little bit below what we are forecasting. Again, the 33 is kind of the average across eastern North Carolina. The further west or north you go, the colder your overnight lows will be, and the better the opportunity there is for you to face some ice out the door early on Monday morning. Now, again, do have some questions we got to get through. We've got one from Tracy. Hi, Charlie. How much ice for Beaufort and Pitt County? Right now, Beaufort County looking at maybe a tenth to up to a quarter of an inch of ice. The higher amounts are going to be further to the west. So say if you're in Beaufort County watching in Aurora or Belhaven and Pungo, I would say your opportunity for ice, you're looking at about maybe a tenth of an inch. Not so much, again, that you would really worry about power outages. That usually happens once you get to, I would say, at least a quarter of an inch. Usually by half an inch, it's widespread. So you should be okay, but there will, again, certainly be slick spots on the roads across Beaufort County Saturday night, more so early Sunday morning. Now, Darnett Gardner, thank you for all the updates, but I wanted to know, Darnett, you and me both. I'm telling you, I wish we could have some snow. I'm still holding out hope for next weekend. We'll see how it all comes together. What is the overview for Martin County through Sunday and Monday from LeCedric Farmer? LeCedric, right now we're not looking again at any sort of additions to the ice and or sleet or even potentially even maybe a few snow accumulations in Martin County over Sunday and Monday. During that time period, we are looking more at a reduction of any sort of lingering accumulations because air temperatures are going to be above 32 degrees and the rain that's going to be falling from the sky will help melt everything away versus add to those accumulations. Again, it's more of a melting effect so long as those air temperatures stay above 32 degrees. And right now, that's exactly what we are anticipating, not just for Martin County, but pretty much throughout all of eastern North Carolina coming up for Sunday and into Monday. Now, again, will the ice be gone by noon on Monday? I do believe so. I do believe that the ice is certainly going to be gone by the time we get to noon on Monday. Of course, just 24 hours, even longer than that. Probably by the time we get to noon Monday, we're likely looking at about at least 24, possibly 36 hours above freezing, and a little bit more sunshine is expected coming up on Monday than obviously what we're going to see on Sunday. And the more solar radiation you can get hitting that ice, the faster it melts. So again, any sort of ice that's still out and exposed will likely melt away, but air temperatures I think are really going to do the job. That and the rain showers we are going to see on Sunday. But that's all we have time for today's 4 p.m. news and weather update. For those of you, again, who still may have some questions, not to worry, of course. Zach Holder is going to be going over it all in detail. In fact, I'm looking over, he's on TV right now. In fact, here we'll get, let's see if we can pop Zach up here real quick. And well, now he just walked off camera. Well, there's Zach's day. Anyways, I tried. But we will be back again right here on the First Alert desk on Sunday. Usually, again, we take the weekends off on the First Alert desk, but because of the situation that we are going to be dealing with, we will again be present here on the First Alert desk to answer your questions, to give you more forecast details, and to give you guys kind of a picture of what we are looking at across eastern North Carolina from a road and power perspective. That way, again, you can stay informed without, again, having to do too much research or having to put too much effort into it. Want to make it as easy for you guys as possible. But again, we will see you coming up early Sunday morning. I will be on 8 a.m. and then going through the day. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Friday, an even better Saturday. For those of you who want snow, I hope you get it. For those of you who don't want snow, I hope you don't. And we'll see you back here coming up at 8 a.m. Sunday morning.